Soalan yang paling penting sebenarnya nak tanya kan, susah ke year 12?
Oh.
Dia macam okay, kita orang ada SPM. Before that I think kita ada UPSR. Darjah 6 nak masuk form 1. Form 1 lepas tu form 3 kita ada PMR. Sekarang kita dah tukar kot.
PT3
I think so. And then you ada SPM. Sebenarnya 3 kali major exam. Yang nampak is a test untuk tengok kita ni level mana. And if you perform well, you can go to a boarding school. Ini ada topik lah, which boarding school ni cream of the cream. Kebanyakan orang yang fly Aussie, kebanyakannya daripada boarding school lah, MRSM dan SBP dan sebagainya. Itu memang padu-padu. Tapi yang datang sini ada padu kat study, tak semestinya excellent dekat live. Tapi macam very stressful lah actually. Malaysia punya style is very
that's what I wanted to ask you lah. So you said exam oriented. So dari kecil lah there's a huge focus on exams, or how would you say?
I think one thing yang tak bagus, personal opinion, personal opinion, back at the end of the day, personal opinion, bagus, yang tak bagusnya ialah Malaysia heavily rely on exam punya, very exam oriented. You know, very stress punya. I mean, you bayangkan darjah 6 you kena 5A. Cousin you semua dapat result SPPSR dah keluar kan. Awak apa A? 3A, 5A, hang 1A. So you kind of like, people might judge you tak pandai because of just you tak dapat A
exam.
That's it. And then of course kalau you perform, you dapat masuk boarding school. Okay, then you ada pula PMR dulu. Sekarang maybe P3, I'm not sure how the system, kita tak pernah lalu. Benda yang sama juga. It's actually PMR 7A 8A. 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 Yes, 8A. 8 subjek total. 8 subjek. Obviously you kena dapat straight dah. Kalau you dapat straight A, goodnya, bagus, anak soleh. Betul, kalau ada parents pula, family, anak I 8 A's. So that's the system in Malaysia. I think bukan intentionally nak buat macam tu, tapi because dia dah jadi macam tu, and parents pun dah macam compare. Dah standard. Susah lah you nak cakap you tak compare diri you berapa A.
So how about SPM? That's like the end of your schooling. What's it like?
Macam year 12 kan. So SPM pun very stressful lah kalau orang kata. I tak sure pasal year 12 macam mana. Tapi memang dia SPM ni boleh pilih banyak subjek lah. Ada orang pilih Islamic dan sebagainya. Tapi I would say general 9 to 10A. Sejarah, fizik and all that kind of stuff. Siapa yang pure science, budak-budak pandai, bio dan sebagainya, memang I tak ambil bio, tapi I replace dengan reka cipta because I can't get bio. 9A. And ada yang golongan seni, kadang-kadang orang panggil, because itulah benda yang I nak to point out. I have to point out because I'm media, and media is sebenarnya arts, tapi I pure science. You understand? Like
you can't reflect it in an exam, right? Like I mean, doesn't match.
Some people kat Malaysia pula, dia ada ranking sekolah. I tak tahu kat sini letak. Dia ada ranking sekolah. Sekolah atas, sekolah bawah. Okay. So budak-budak pure science 1, 2, 3, 4 macam sekolah I dulu, semua ambil pure science. Must use like bio, all that kind of susah-susah, accountant dan sebagainya. Accountant dia 5, 6. Okay, budak-budak bawah ni ambil seni. Kan, seni, sejarah apa dan sebagainya. So there's dah ada macam ada level-level. Oh, dia ni budak atas, dia ni budak bawah, dia ni pure science. So benda-benda macam tu I think it's not good personally, because
it limits what we call smart and not smart lah, to just the exam. And there's obviously art subjects, they're not really reflected in exams. But science subjects, they're reflected in exams lah. There's a huge bias there lah towards the science leading subjects.
Betul. And then science pun, I mean, because of that system, of course parents push to student, anak-anak semua ambil pure science, ambil semua bio sebagainya. Kadang-kadang student tak boleh ambil, and tak mampu pun, tak semua orang. And then dia orang macam kadang-kadang I pelik. I suka kat sini, so my sister tengah ambil year 12. You maybe you boleh explain lebih kan. You boleh pilih apa yang you nak jadi kan. Macam Malaysia tak. Malaysia, of course, by the SPM tu, you try to get as many A's you can have, so you can get better opportunity untuk pilih kan.
But then you're stuck in the science stream lah. That's like and there's really
You know, the director, film, arts, orang yang marketing, orang yang brilliant.
Definitely.
Tak semestinya you kena pandai chemistry. I teruk gila chemistry.
They won't be good at it, but that's what I feel is lacking in there lah, in any exam based system lah. Tapi I guess so when it comes to here, I'll just brief about how sort of education is here, and one thing I think it starts from even early on is there's a huge focus on macam like kind of like building things, and even presentation lah. Presentation is huge here, like even from early as reception, first grade, second grade, they have this thing called show and tell lah, which is 1 day a week. A kid, you have to once a week show and tell something about your week. So you go in front of your class and you talk about something, so that builds confidence in students to be able to like get used to presenting over time lah. But so as I said, when it comes to the education here, is exams are there, tests are there, but even when it comes to year 12, the weighting on tests and exams are like 30% of the whole grade compared to 70% of coursework, right?
That's good.
So final exam for year 12 subject, especially in South Australia, I'm pretty sure, is you have the final end of year exam, which is 30%, if I'm not mistaken. It could be the other way around, but I think it's 30%. And then all of the work you've done in the throughout the year is that other 70% of your grade lah, which is usually you would have to have a research task, you'd have to have a presentation task, you'd have to have some kind of maybe smaller tests as well. So there's a huge focus on just going beyond exams lah. And that's why I'm certain anyone who's done SACE before in Malaysia, maybe you've done SPM and onto SACE, they can compare lah, and they know. A lot of time they've told me as well lah, what they found about SACE is that it's so different compared to what's going on in school before lah. And for us here, SACE is incorporated into year 12, so that's why we finish our schooling and we can go straight to uni. But I just really think that aspect of looking beyond exams is a great thing lah. And as you pointed out, like your sisters are going through now, you have the complete freedom to choose whichever subjects you want lah. So in year 12, you only need 4 subjects that you have to do to comprise of your 8.
That benda compulsory lah.
Yep.
Compulsory
in South Australia. In Brisbane, where I did it, was a bit different. There was like 5 subjects, and then you need 1 research task lah. So the way it is that you can choose whatever 4 subjects you want lah, and then but you have to make sure that the subjects fit the prerequisites of the uni you want to go into lah. So usually they will have sessions where you look at your uni, contoh you nak masuk engineering, so yelah kena ambil pure maths, kena ambil chemistry, physics ke apa. Tapi if you don't, you nak masuk law contohnya, maybe you just need to ambil English, and then you can take subjects like seriously, like macam cooking. Serious, like
if you you want to be chef, kenapa you nak ambil biochemistry?
And you can take subjects like honestly just simple subjects that get you through year 12 lah. Tapi obviously there's work to it, but you're not stuck to that science stream lah.
Sebab I nampak dekat student dekat sini struggle sikit lah, and you have to adjust. Sebab kat Malaysia memang, to be honest, memang spoon feeding lah, macam kita lecturer pun bagi kita, cikgu pun memang I cakap dengan abang, kalau SPM pun macam maths ke apa kan, soalan dah lebih kurang sama kan, konsep dah sama, you train benda yang sama, and you expect maybe value tukar, maybe benda yang sikit-sikit, tapi you dah tahu, you not really solving problem. I think you just know the template, and you just change.
Okay, that reminds me, even I remember maths in year 12 when I did in Brisbane. It was such a headache, because it's not just that you textbook you practice all of the things, tapi the exams they have a section for this thing called modelling and problem solving lah. That was such a headache, man, because I remember one question is asking you about it's all worded. They ask you an aeroplane wants to take off, and the length of the thing is this long, and it's gonna take off at this speed and whatnot. So you have to calculate some of the drag stuff and whatnot. And like it's so annoying, those questions lah. And then you have to relate it to your stuff lah. And then I remember there was even different assignments lah. Assignment math yang you can tulis report on maths. That was the first time I done that. I was really confused. Yang one of them was about interest lah. Actually, is you're learning about those interest functions, and then they ask you to model. Contoh you nak ambil mortgage lah. So try to model that lah from your term. And then one was about sleeping drug, so trying to model the mathematic function of a sleeping drug lah. And it was pretty cool. I think that was really a cool aspect that really gives, and those are the questions you get at university, right? If you do math.
Orang biasa lah.
So getting used to that is really important lah.
Macam Malaysia, Kadang-kadang kan, you pernah dengar tak soalan bocor? You pernah dengar?
Tak.
Malaysia ni sebab terlampau exam oriented, semua nak kerja A, sekolah pun nak kerja ranking. Semua tiba kata, oh, pergi tuition ni, cikgu ni bocorkan soalan sejarah, cikgu ni bocorkan soalan tu. Oh, apa prediction soalan tahun ni? Oh ni, kau belajar ni InsyaAllah keluar tajuk lebih seorang. Lepas tu bila exam SPM, I still remember man, I keluar exam, wih, aku punya jawapan keluar kan, yang cikgu predict tu sebiji. Oh, aku boleh jawab. Adakah tu cara kita nak handle life? Aku dah tahu masalah ini akan datang, aku nak buat macam ni. Tak,
that's not, because you come across problems
macam ni. Sorry lah kan, jadi macam emotion tak. Problem macam ni, masalah dia memang akan jadi macam tu lah. I think you know what I mean, like macam to the point macam orang kejar ranking, sekolah kejar ranking. You kejar ace, you kejar you kejar benda tu, you kejar numbers. You not really create people yang understand. Sebab most of the people kalau I tanya balik konsep fizik, people dah lupa dah. And I belajar macam cerita 3 Idiots kan, I think exactly macam tu. Oh, you have to watch 3 Idiots ni. Dia cerita pasal how our education problem daripada exam oriented kan, belajar hafal definition. Myself dulu, you punya definisi something, you have to exactly lebih kurang sama. Kalau you hilang words of the definition, you tak dapat mark ataupun hilang marks. Kalau you explain about something, you have to explain what you, macam apa you faham lah. And
nak letak in a sentence or something to explain lah.
Exactly. And then orang predict soalan, orang kerja tu. So at the end of the day, you jadi macam You jadi macam you just exam lah. So macam myself, myself, I tak power maths. I struggle at maths, I struggle maths okay, because I takes time untuk calculate. Orang yang memang switch on memang dia boleh. Sebab I macam orang, tak tahulah, orang kreatif ni dia macam
they have other ways of thinking lah, natural.
And then myself, I jawab betul dah, tapi I akan check 2-3 kali. Sebab I very precise, arts punya people. Itu benda yang I rasa it doesn't suit me.
It doesn't suit you, that's the thing. So and I think I remember my lecturer for macroeconomics, right? He says to us, because sometimes in the first lecture we used to ask him like, so what's the assessments for this subject like? And he's like, why do you guys even care about assessment? He said, focus on learning the content. But then he'll tell us, he's like, make sure you learn something. But then he'll tell us what we have this much on present. And even assignment pun dia bagi full marks on assignment, sebab dia kata macam just do something and try to understand it is what he cares about lah. He says if you get it wrong, it doesn't matter, just try to understand it. And terang masa tu macam, alah, aku nak HD je lah, bagi ni. Tapi once you think about it properly, like, he's got a point. Like, end of the day, education should be about letting someone grow and be educated lah. I don't think it's about hafal definitions, exams, whatnot. Exams should be a means to allow a student to grow if it's beneficial. But unfortunately, I think, especially as you described it, it just seems like exam is the end goal lah. The A is the end goal lah. But that's something hopefully we can improve on lah. InsyaAllah.
Maybe you balik Malaysia jadi menteri
pendidikan.
InsyaAllah ada ramai je orang dah sedar benda ni. And InsyaAllah ada cuba usaha-usaha cuba untuk.
Definitely hope so, because I'm sure that as a country we've got a lot of potential. Malaysia, our students, our people, semua.
Our students smart,
very smart.
Compare here, memang smart. Serius smart. Tapi smart yang ada orang yang alhamdulillah smart skill dan sebagainya, tapi ada juga yang just smart, orang kata ulat buku very smart in exam. Because dari kecil kita memang macam tu. Yang smart, hafal dan sebagainya. Tapi kitalah perbicaraan kita yang, I mean, it's just a comparison between Aussie and Malaysia. And obviously each country have their own benefit. I mean, each country have their own punya kelebihan kekurangan kan.
So I mean, that's the end. I'm pretty sure if we were to talk about our school days, go on forever, because I've got so many stories and whatnot. Tapi I think that covers it for today lah. So all the best for Malaysia. We hope for all the best.
Cakap macam hang bukan negara Malaysia.
All the best for my country.
Nak kena
all the best. We hope for the best lah, for the education system and whatnot. And guys, as usual, if you want to catch our podcast, you can find us on YouTube and Spotify, and keep up to date with us on Instagram. That's it for today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.